I'm Mark, and I'm half-ass ready.
Part 3, Handyman. Welcome in. So, today we're going to talk about plumbing. Uh, Look, plumbing is one of the most common things that handymen have to do, okay? Um, and there are a lot of specific tools to plumbing. I'm going to try to cover as many of them as I can. Uh, there's some terminology in plumbing that you need to know, but basically, plumbing uh, seems complicated, but it's not. So something you're really going to have to try, and you're going to have to do if you want to be a handyman. You got to understand plumbing. So um, let's get into it. So plumbing, basically, there are several different kinds of pipe that will be in your residential home. Okay. Um, the newest and most common probably right now is PEX. Uh, then a lot of your homes are going to have PVC. Uh, Older homes are going to have copper. Um, then some are going to have some cast iron stuff. Uh, Especially if you have any gas lines, and we'll call that plumbing too, even though there's not water, but it's gas. They're going to be cast iron. And then in older mobile homes and older homes, polybutylene. Uh, PEX is usually going to be either white, blue, or red. Blue being cold, red being hot. PVC is almost always going to be white or maybe kind of a beige color sometimes, depending on the schedule of pipe that you're using. Copper, of course, is going to be copper, and cast is going to be black or painted. Polybutylene is going to be gray tubing, and it has really funky fittings and whatnot. If you have polybutylene, you want to switch to PEX. And there are tons of fittings. SharkBite is the most famous kind that will adapt poly to PEX, but anytime you can get a piece of polybutylene out of your system, get it out and put in PEX or PVC. But um, tools on this, plumbing tools are plumbing tools. Okay, so most of the tools you have will work for plumbing tools. There's just a few specific things you need. Uh, you need a pipe wrench, especially if you're working on cast or copper. Any joint going in that has a metal, you need a pipe wrench. They bite. I have a few pipe wrenches. I should have brought one over. But you need a pipe wrench, a monkey wrench, whatever you want to call it. And you need several different sizes probably because piping comes in different sizes. But the more you do plumbing, the more you'll understand which tools you need. A pair of channel lock pliers, groove neck, um, very handy. But the probably most used tool in your bag for plumbing is going to be a cutter. Um, in plumbing, you need a tape measure just like you do in carpentry. You need a tape measure, but uh, you need a way to cut PEX, PVC, poly, and these cutters are the best in the world for that. They cut nice and even, so that your joints are nice. You need a tubing cutter. If you're working with copper, if you have an older home, you need a copper tubing cutter. You need a pipe cutter. I have one. It's buried. I don't have copper tubing anymore anywhere in my home. I have converted my whole house over to PEX. But for copper, you will need a tubing cutter. Um, you need to stock some of the pipe, whatever the pipe is that you're using your home. And inside the house and plumbing, usually tubing's going to come usually an inch or an inch and a half coming from supply outside. It'll be reduced down, and it'll probably run 3/4 through your home, and then from there it will go up to 1/2 inch to each different faucet. You might even have some 1/4 inch. Quarter, usually like on your ice maker on your refrigerator, will be 1/4. But you need to understand you need these fittings, and you need them in those sizes, right? So if you've got 3/4, you need 3/4 fittings. If you got 1/2 inch, you need 1/2 inch fittings. And just rudimentary, I just talked about a few of the fittings. There's T's, there's elbows, 90 and 45. There's bushings and reducers. So a reducer would bring, say you're working on 1/2 inch, a reducer would bring half down to 1/4 or 3/8, right? So reducers go down inside, right? So, and these bushings and reducers will be male or female, right? They'll either have threads or be threaded. So you need to take a minute, maybe even draw yourself a little map of what you're working on, so you know to get a male 3/4 to 1/2 reducer, male, female, male, male, female, female, whatever. Okay. Bushings go up inside usually, up in size. So, and they're usually female, female, but not always. So, bushings and reducers. And then, of course, you have unions, which will join two pieces of pipe that are the same size together. So, you need to gather these supplies for whatever it is you're working on, right? So, I generally, when I buy one, especially on these shark bite fittings I'm talking about, that would adapt poly to PEX, or PVC to PEX, or poly to PVC, or PEX to copper. Shark bite makes fittings that adapt all of that, right? So, whenever I buy one, I buy two. So, I've used it, I need it, I'm going to need it again. I keep my tools in a toolbox, my plumbing specific tools. We were talking about that last time. You know, I keep carpentry tools in a specific place. I keep plumbing tools in a specific place. Keep mechanic tools in a specific place. So, but I have a toolbox, and inside of that, I keep lots of these fittings. It's a pretty big toolbox. Plumbing can get out of control for you. You will pile up stuff, and again, you may need it, you may never need it, but you will pile stuff up if you're doing it right. I think I have tons of pieces of pipe of all sizes, of all makes, PVC, PEX, especially these two. If your home has PEX, or if you're going to PEX, there are tools that you need to fasten these fittings to the PEX. They use compression rings, and you need a compression ring binder that will actually shrink those compression rings around the pipe and the fitting. So these are tools you need if you're going to be a plumber. They're in the plumbing section. When you go to get your supplies, you will see the tools you need. You don't have to have the fanciest stuff. You just have to make sure it does what you need it to do. So make sure you have the tools. And then you make sure you have the knowledge on how to use those tools. Okay, so again, if you never plumb and you have the tools and the shit hits the fan, you got the tools and the supplies. Someone who knows how to use those tools can actually fix your plumbing. So they can't fix it if they don't have what they need to fix it with. So you want to make sure, if you're a handyman and you're a prepper, that you have these things in your home. in your bug out location, bug in location, whatever that may be. Their tools can get expensive, so shop yard sales, whatever you got to do to make sure that you've got these tools. But a couple other things you're going to need. Plumbing generally takes place in a dark area. Okay, you keep plumbing out of sight. It's under the house. It's under the sink. It's under the cabinetry. It's behind the toilet. Make sure you have a headlight and a good flashlight and a good work light in your plumbing tools. I don't know how you do plumbing without a headlight. You need both hands, headlights on. You need gloves. A lot of times, some of the plumbing stuff you're going to handle might have had gray water or brown water in it. It's going to be nasty. So, a nice set of coveralls that you use for that kind of thing is always good. A pair of gloves. Dust mask. If you're into the house, sometimes you're going to be sucking in some insulation. Not going to be fun for your lungs. So, safety glasses. Because generally plumbing's over your head and stuff's going to be falling down in your eyes when you're trying to see, especially if you're working on copper or cast. Cast is going to be rusty, and it's all going to be dusty. You don't want that stuff in your eyes while you're trying to finish your job. So safety glasses are pretty important thing. KP got on me about doing these things, making these videos while I'm doing these repairs. I've been so busy lately doing a lot of this stuff that I think maybe later on I need to do some videos of me doing some of these repairs. And I'm definitely going to do some when I get into the small engine stuff, because I have some small engine stuff I need to get done. But for now, I mean, I told y'all at the start, I just wanted you to understand that being a handyman requires you to purchase some tools and familiarize yourself with terminology, right? So the terminology involved in plumbing is different than the terminology involved in anything else. So get yourself familiar with it. Jump on YouTube. There's lots of guys who do plumbing repairs on YouTube, and they're probably way better plumbers than I am. Get yourself familiar with how a toilet works, how to repair a faucet, what you need to repair those faucets and get it in part of your prepper stuff. Again, we talk all the time about the difference between a prepper and a hoarder, right? I mean, there's days when I really feel like I'm a hoarder because I got stuff piled everywhere. But those little pieces of pipe and fittings and nuts and bolts and clamps and all that stuff, it might save your life. It definitely might make life after grid down much more bearable. So, again, wanted to make this a quick one. Plumbing can tie you up. There's a lot to learn about plumbing. But the biggest thing I want all of y'all to take away from this video or any of these handyman videos, you can do these things. Don't be afraid to do these things. Do these things now while you have a support system around you to help you learn to do these things. You don't want to be learning how to do these things when you don't have that support system, right? What is it? Trent says, the time is now. So now's the time to actually get out there and do these things. Practice these things, learn these things, put the things in your storage that you need when this happens, okay? Look, plumbing, carpentry, electricity, even grid down, if you have a generator, a solar generator, small engine repair, mechanical, all of these things are going to be important to make life on your homestead more livable. But if you don't know how to do these things, or you don't have what you need to fix these things now, grid down, it's going to be really hard to make these things run. So now's the time to prepare. Let's get moving forward. Uh, keep your chin up. Tell the ones you love that you love them. This is Mark signing off.
Remember to tell the ones you love that you love them. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Let's get full ass ready.